My name is Mike Garlia.
And I'm Steve Jones.
When Steps, the Backstreet Boys and Westlife dominated the pop charts, we decided to write a script.
Based on our experiences as holiday entertainers.
It's sat in an attic for the last 16 years. How terrible is the writing? How awful will the acting be?
Only you can help us decide.
This is Bad Scripts.
Welcome back to another episode of Bad Scripts. I'm here, as usual, with the unfallible Mike Garlia. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Steve. I'm just this smell that doesn't disappear. I just keep returning back week after week to offer some form of ridicule and reveal far too much about my life. And here I am again. How are you, my friend?
I'm all good, mate, and all the better for seeing you. After the special that we had last week, it's back to the script again today, and episode 11. 11! We're into the final script. Let's just do a little quick recap of what happened in the previous episode, in episode 10. Drunken shenanigans to start the episode, as it was. The boys went on a bit of a night out, and we've shifted forward in time, haven't we? So we're getting towards the tail end of the season now, and Donna and Dan are in a relationship now. You know, it's a bit more established. They're together. There's no will they, won't they about it. Sam's not on the night out, and Adam is absolutely wasted.
Yes, but if you remember, we did speak before about how drunk is drunk. Because he'd been drunk before and he's maintained his decorum. He got drunk this time and decided to explore that Scottish beauty, Kelly, and late for work again. So he's in trouble again. And, we talked and covered off mistakes. And I don't know about you, actually, Steve. I find it very difficult to sleep in these days. So I can't connect to the fact that Adam keeps just not waking up to go for his shift. Did you have a problem back in the day with this? Was this a problem for you?
No, I don't think I was ever really late for a shift. I think I've cut it fine a few times, but I don't think I've ever been late and missed a shift. What about you, Mike?
Well, I mean, if I'm revealing honesty, I would say that probably missing a shift, no. Disappearing from a shift, I was quite well known for that in certain circles.
The circles being the rest of the people who were having to cover your shift and your non-appearance in certain events. You. Yeah, like me, maybe.
Look, it's not every time, but I mean, after it, look, it's a really hard thing to do. So after a big night out with your fellow colleagues, you have to go to work and you have to switch it on, and people want to talk to you, and they want to be entertained by you. And when you're really hungover and you've had 2 hours sleep, I take my hat off to every entertainer out there, past, present, and future. I bow to you guys because it is a hard thing to do when you are tired and groggy and thirsty and probably hungry, and you have to switch it on and be that lively entertainer. And there were times where I couldn't muster that much energy. And there may have been a few occasions where I showed up for my shift with a large coat and went into one of the cubicle toilets and went to sleep for a few hours, just a couple of times, just to sleep it off. And then maybe a couple of the times as well where I may have disappeared and gone and watched a film in the cinema that was nearby. I'm painting myself to be a terrible, terrible employee right now. I really am. I've got to stop telling these stories. But you knew about this, and it wasn't. I'm making it more than it was. It wasn't. It was maybe a couple of times. It wasn't. Over the course of a year, it wasn't that many times.
Mm-hmm. Well, enough time has passed that I've finally began to forgive you. I'm not saying I've completely forgiven you yet, but I've begun to forgive you. So we'll let it go for now. But
So moving on then, Steve, do you have any thoughts of what the few scenes that we're going to read today entails? Do you have any idea of what's coming up next?
no, I've only
Any guesses?
Well, I've just seen that it does involve a burger van, and that's the first bit of it. And I think everybody's favourite mobility scooter-clad lady is back, so we're going to see a little bit more of Margaret. So that should be interesting. And if I can remember how to do Margaret's accent, that will also be very interesting.
You had me lost there. Is Margaret Dorset? Is she from?
I think did we make her Bristol way? Didn't we? I think we did.
I think Bristol.
Well, guess what she is now.
As people would know from listening to the special, we have used some dramatic license when it comes to the rendition of these characters because we know that Pete was of Caribbean descent, and I'm so glad we didn't read it as such. So that was a good positive avoider there. So without further ado, Steve, why don't you take us away?
Exterior burger van. Colin and Gary are tending to the burger van. Stood at the counter is Wayne, devouring a large jumbo hot dog. From behind, Margaret slams into his legs. Wayne spills ketchup over his mouth, chin, and shirt. What the f... Wayne turns and sees Margaret, who smiles stupidly back. Hello, Wacky Wayne. What are you up to? I'm working at the moment. I'm here again. I can see that. Yeah, me friend said this is me second home, this is, because I spend so much time here. Margaret starts laughing. Wayne turns to Colin and Gary, who are looking on curiously. Where's me bloody burger? It's coming. Where from? Jersey? It's your only line,
It won't be long, mate.
It's your only line.
It's my only line.
And you missed it.
I'm so Steve. I'm so sorry. I'm listening to you, right? And I just got lost in the story myself. I'm waiting for the next line. Right, okay. Sorry. Okay, yes. Won't be long, Wayne.
Margaret coughs loudly, taking Wayne's attention back onto her. Here, Wacky Wayne, when are you going to be getting back into that camp coat uniform and show them all how it's done? Oh, a bit too old now. Never. Besides, I doubt you'd fit into one of them uniforms now. Got a bit of a belly on you now, ain't you? Margaret pats Wayne's stomach. He looks very annoyed. Burger's ready. Colin hands Wayne 2 double cheeseburgers. When he turns back to Margaret, she is out stretching her t-shirt, hoping he will notice. Do you like my top? Wayne looks down and notices a picture of Dan in his uniform. The t-shirt is far too small for Margaret, and the picture is extremely distorted and out of shape. It's Camp Coat Dan, the man! Got a picture of him on my top. Yeah, I can see that. Wayne is interrupted by his radio. Mark is on the other end.
Wayne, come in.
Wayne is very happy by the distraction and speaks into the radio. Go ahead.
Need you in my office. Alan's on his way.
I'll be right there. Back to work then. Wayne smiles and walks away. Colin calls after him. You forgot your onion rings. He's ignored. To Gary. Told you. Bunch of tossers, these camp coats.
A lot to digest there. And I mean that literally.
I can't believe for a minute that Wayne is going to have forgotten his onion rings and not come back for them. I don't believe it. I mean, at least they were fresh onion rings.
So the first question I've got to ask, which I'm sure is on everyone's mind right now, is what is Wayne doing with the ketchup that it spills all over his mouth, chin, and shirt? Does he have the bottle in his hand? Was he putting it onto his hot dog?
No, I think it was that.
Or was he?
I think it was that lathered in ketchup that when she's whacked into him, he's gone and basically squeezed the hot dog and it's poured down his front like he's been headbutted.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I know we'd have to say in the direction that he wipes it away. He just seems to leave it. I mean, he just seems to carry on hungrily eating. So, right, let's look at this. He's just eaten a burger, and he takes 2 double cheeseburgers.
No,
and
he's had a hot
forgets his
dog.
onion rings.
Yeah, he's got a hot dog, and then he's taking the 2 burgers with him. And she's patted him on the belly and reminded him he's popping on a little bit of weight there. Exterior office. Wayne is eating his second cheeseburger while walking towards the office. Bob comes running up, shouting his name. Wayne! Wayne! Wayne stops and waits for him. I'm glad I caught you, Wayne. What's up, Bob? We've got big problems. Tried to call Mark, but I can't get through. We're pretty busy today, Bob. Lots to sort out. It's important. Well, can you handle it? I can, but it's not in my jurisdiction. Well, what is it? It's these bloody foreigners again. Wayne rolls his eyes and sighs. So what's the problem? Well, as you know, it's my job to keep law and order here, being what with me being head and security and all, and I've got to keep control, ain't I? Yep, you're right, Bob. Absolutely right. So whatever they're doing, you've got my permission to sort it out. Looking confused. Sort it out? Yeah, that's right. Fix the problem. You're the head of security. If anyone can sort it, I know you can, Bob. Right. Yeah, I will. Off you go then, Bob. Make some magic happen. I will, yeah. Bob walks off, and Wayne continues his journey to the office. Fucking idiot. Well.
At least we know. Wayne is nasty to everybody, and not just the CampCoats.
It's what's known as a universal dick. He's not a nice person to anybody.
So, what do we think's going on there? What's happened?
Well, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. There's a little bit of a tease for the audience there, isn't there? It may seem inconsequential what's happening, but I have a feeling like there may be repercussions from Wayne just saying, just sort it out.
For Vladimir and his family, then? Because this is obviously something to do with them, isn't it?
Well, I imagine they're the ones we're talking about, but at the same time, the repercussions might not be impacting them as much as it might do Wayne. I guess we'll have to see. He's made that decision, hasn't he? And it depends. He's given Bob carte blanche to do what needs to be done. We don't know. You know, Bob's kind of this over the top military type, and I think he may be a little more drastic than he needs to be. But I guess we'll find out. I genuinely can't remember. So. Interior reception. Karen is busy working on some paperwork as Adam walks through in full uniform towards the door. As he opens it, he runs straight into Sam. She looks upset and a little startled.
Oh, hello, Sam. I haven't seen you all morning.
Sam shakes her head and walks straight past Adam and through the doors into the hallway. Adam looks unnerved and turns to Karen.
What was that all about?
Karen tuts under her breath.
What?
You really don't know, do you?
Know what?
Adam walks to the reception desk.
None.
Is everyone talking in code today? What is it I'm supposed to know?
She likes you.
Well, I like her too.
No, she really likes you.
Really?
Really?
Wow. I mean, I never thought she'd go for me. I always thought she was out of my league. I did have such a crush on her.
Adam dreamily thinks about Sam until a sudden memory hits him from the previous night. Oh, we're going into flashback territory.
Oh, we're getting a bit too clever here in the script.
Oh, time travel. Are we ready? Interior, Kelly Chalet. Previous night. Flashback. Kelly is moving up and down and moaning. Oh, no, again. Thought we'd done with this. We can see her from Adam's point of view as she is on top.
Good for you, Kelly. Good for you. Empowered.
Good girl.
Empowered.
That's it. Full on cowgirl. Interior reception. Back to current time. Adam is knocking... Sorry?
What? What's he doing? Wait a minute, Adam's remembering this and he's knocking? Where are you going with that? I'm reading the script, it does not say that.
Sorry, that might be a small Freudian slip.
He's in front of Karen as well.
Hey, look, it was a different time. You could get away with different things back then. Back to current time. Adam is knocked out of his thoughts by Karen.
Messed it up though now, ain't you?
Adam shakes his head awake.
What? You know about last night?
Who doesn't?
Who told you?
Can't remember. Nat stays quiet for long here.
Adam looks at the door to the hallway.
She knows. God, I was so hammered.
It don't matter. Men are all the same, thinking with their willies.
Thinking with their willies. I've got to go.
Aren't you supposed to be on duty?
Fuck it.
Adam runs through the door towards Sam. And can I just apologise? It appears that with every passing scene, Karen's getting older and older. She's losing her teeth with every scene.
It's because men thinks with their willies, apparently.
Apparently so.
Which doesn't help Adam's case when he's just said that expletive,
Yeah.
and because the response from Karen will be, "Well, you already have."
Yeah.
Not calling
was
Kelly in
witty
it.
enough.
Not calling Kelly in it. Yeah.
No, but it's one of those quick retorts, isn't it, that you would make in that situation. Interior hallway. Adam runs down the corridor in search of Sam. He is stopped by Kelly.
I had fun last night. You're such an animal when you let yourself go. Can we talk about this later? I've got to go. I'll come round to yours tonight then.
Kelly starts to rub Adam's arm, getting very close to him. As she does this, Sam appears further down the hall. Adam sees her and tries to remove himself from Kelly. She too sees this and grips tighter. Adam calls down the corridor.
Sam! No!
Do you know what?
Why?
Do you know what I was hearing? Do you know what I was thinking when just as you were about to say that was I'd got Brando going, Stella!
Stella!
That's where my mind went, and you
All
pretty
right.
much went the same place. So
That's
I'm
what it
happy with
sounds
that.
Okay, I'll just say it. Sam!
Sam looks up and spots Adam and Kelly in a very close position. She pretends not to notice and walks past them. As she reaches them, she lowers her head, trying not to show any feelings.
Hello, Sam.
Kelly? Sam continues down the corridor. As she reaches the door, Kelly speaks.
Hey, jealousy gets you nowhere.
Sam stops for a moment before going through the door.
So, about tonight. Tonight? What about tonight? We made plans to meet tonight. Meet? You know, me and you.
Adam gets angry and pushes Kelly off him.
There is no me and you. There never will be. It was a mistake and it should never have happened. You weren't saying that last night. Was that before or after you plied me with jelly beans? What?
So that sounds like the worst Harry Potter fan fiction I've ever heard.
It really does. She roofied him with jelly beans.
Kelly begins to raise her voice.
Here we go. Typical bloke. Jodie all of a sudden. Typical bloke.
Oh, wow!
Blame it on. No, I've got it. I'll do it differently.
Okay,
Hold on. Here we go. Typical bloke. Blame it on the drink. Well, I'd have to be pissed because I wouldn't go with a slut like you sober.
Wow!
What a dick.
Kelly looks shocked before regaining her composure.
I only felt sorry for you. A whole season without a shag. But then again, I'm not surprised with the size of your dick.
Oh, dear.
Oh, grow up, Kelly. It shouldn't have happened. Aye. But you wouldn't be saying that if I was pretty Miss Perfect Sam, would you? I don't have to. She's not a slag.
Adam.
It's got to be the worst argument ever.
Adam begins walking down the corridor. Kelly is still shouting at him.
You bastard! You have no idea. It's all the same with men. A guy sleeps with the 5 girls and he's a hero. A girl does it and she's a tart. But at least I can pull. Anyway, I was only trying to see if you were straight or not, and even now, I'm still not sure.
Adam walks through the door, leaving Kelly.
Wow, is all I can say.
Angry Scottish. Angry.
But that's
let's cover the performance first.
Okay. There was a little bit of take the high road in there, but there was anger. I did enjoy the anger.
She's a
Highland girl.
She's a Highland angry girl. She goes higher up. Yeah, when she's down normal, it's the lowlands.
Yeah.
But when she gets angry, it's like up in the Highlands.
She goes back to her roots.
She's gonna kill you with a spurn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam, the name calling. Adam's actually shown some emotion for the first time in an episode that we've done. He's been very kind of melancholy and boring before, but he really got angry and was quite abusive towards Kelly, because at the end of the day, Kelly's not done anything wrong. Essentially, I mean, she's probably
Neither has Adam, though. No, they're both. Neither one of them have done anything wrong. It's what Adam's angry with is the perception of Sam, but he's not with Sam.
No,
they did nothing wrong together. But the way he's turned on her actually makes him look like a right knob jockey.
I think he's more angry with himself, but he wants to project that onto Kelly because she said about the jealousy. He's angry that he's angry that he's done it. He's angry he's done it.
No.
He's disappointed in himself.
He's blaming her for it.
That's what I'm saying.
He's taken no accountability whatsoever. No accountability. He's not. He said, "You know what? We both made a mistake." No, it was like, what was it? You plied me with jelly beans. And then she says, "Oh, typical bloke. You blame it on the booze." And then he said, "Well, I'd have to be pissed because I wouldn't go with a slut like you sober."
But that's
pretty bad.
It is really bad. But I think it's because he's angry with himself, so he's projecting that anger onto her. If he makes it her fault, then he can live with himself a little bit more and try and convince Sam that it was all her. I think he's feeling sorry for himself, and he's trying to project that onto Kelly.
Well, in the scene before with Karen, he didn't even remember it. It came in a weird kind of dribbly flashback that he did. And then, if we take it back one step, right? What is Kelly's motivation for doing that in the corridor? Is she genuinely liking Adam? Is she doing it does she both like Adam but goading Sam? What's going on? Because she's there for a reason.
I think it's twofold. I don't think she's, like you said previously, that Kelly is probably our most rounded character. She's the person with the most. She's the most three-dimensional character we have because her motivations aren't singular. I think she genuinely likes Adam, but I think she also gets a big thrill out of knowing she can have him or she's had him, and that Sam isn't. I think she sees Sam as a rival. She's jealous of Sam and the way Sam is perceived, and I think she's used that as a way to get to her a little bit. So it's like a double whammy for her. She gets her oats. She's had her cake and eaten it, in my mind.
Well, all I can say is that escalated really quickly.
Massively quickly.
And I've got to say, I love some of Kelly's insults. I really do. I love some of the things she said there. I only felt sorry for you a whole season without a shag. But then again, I'm not surprised with the size of your dick. And then she accused him of being gay. So she's on it. I think true colours have definitely come out. And Adam, not so perfect. Not the perfect gentleman after all.
Absolutely not. And I think that's the cracks are forming, aren't they, at this point? Because we've got to that part of the show where these people know each other quite well now. They've lived in each other's pockets for nearly a year, and I think it's starting to show now because those emotional engagements, we're starting to see that as all along we thought, Adam did have feelings for Sam. He did want to be with her, and he didn't think he was good enough. He didn't think he was enough for her. So, your thoughts that he was callous and that he was only after one thing. But then he's made the stupidest of mistakes by sleeping with not only her friend,
and making that mistake even worse by just not owning up to it and going, do you know what? We had fun last night. It was a bit of a thing. Not really looking for anything too serious right now. Kind of like someone else. But thanks a lot, Kelly. You were awesome in your pink pants in your pink bedroom. Oh, black pants and pink bedroom. Yeah. Adam has gone lower, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be some angry ladies around the globe that listen to our podcast that Adam he's let the side down, in my mind. He really has. Exterior main gate. The main gate is empty of all security as Alan drives in. He stops the car, winds down the window and pops his head out. After a few seconds, he presses the horn. There is still no movement.
What the?
Alan drives through the unmanned gate onto resort. Exterior lawn. In the centre of the nicely cut lawn is the Slovakian family with a barbecue. There is thick smoke coming off the coals. Beside it is a table laden with food and alcohol. Vladimir is cooking and handling the meats with his bare hands, and Natalia is mixing a drink. From behind a hedge, Bob peers over. Dan also arrives. Nice party, Vladimir, mate! Vladimir waves and smiles back to Dan. Natalia hands him a drink. Dan takes a huge mouthful, not realising it's neat vodka. He spits it out and the vodka sprays all over the barbecue, creating a huge flame. Vladimir's apron catches fire and he pats it out quickly and calmly. There's no pop in this. Natalia looks
pop.
at...
What pop?
Pop. I think you call it juice, cola or orange. A lot of people in the world call it pop.
Yeah, no, we can't afford that. We just drink Council Pop, which is water.
Natalia looks at Dan with a confused expression. Just like you did there, Mike. Bob is still peering over the hedge. Bob talks to himself. Right, gotta be stern here. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. It's time to take my resort back from the refugees. Bob looks up and Dan is looking down at him. Are you talking to yourself, mate? No. Bob stands up, adjusts his belt and takes his walkie-talkie out of its holster. He breathes in heavily and sticks his chest out, walking towards the family. Right, you lot. You've had your fun. Now time to call it a day then. Come on. They just look at him. Aw, come on, Bob. We ain't doing no harm. No. Why not? Just no. Vladimir puts... You okay there?
I'm just laughing at all the no's that's been scripted. I'm sorry. I'm still in the area that he was in a bush. He stood up and adjusted his belt. Crazy.
We've all been there. Vladimir puts some meat on a plate and walks to Bob. I'm the head of security, and you lot didn't ask for a barbecue. Besides, it's dangerous to have a naked flame. Whole place could go up in smoke. And who do you think will get the blame? That's right, me. Vladimir hands Bob the plate. I can't eat that. Although, it does smell quite nice. I've missed me dinner today. Well, maybe just a few mouthfuls then. Bob begins tucking in as Natalia hands him a drink of vodka. Whoa, this meat is lovely. What is it? Vladimir just smiles back at Bob. He takes a drink. Whoa, blimey, that's strong stuff. Natalia goes to refill his drink. Bob doesn't argue. Well, maybe just a tot. So,
why do we keep calling it meat? Like
a very quick turnaround from Bob, from ready to cart them back off onto the ship
to send them back off to to where they came from, and suddenly he's eating their barbecued meat, which Vladimir refuses to tell him what it is.
There is definitely something with that meat, because we've called it meat for a reason, and I don't think we would have done that back then if it wasn't for something. He's eating something dodgy, isn't he?
You know, when you can't find Moo. We've not seen Moo the cow for a while.
He's the meat, that's why. This is too much. There's too much going on here, and it's just so weird how the script is. It's so strange, because I keep getting lost. Like...
There's been a lot. We've been building to this. This is the crescendo. This is the final episode of this season of the script. So we're really building up to something. I think it's all going to happen in the next few scenes. So it's really good. I think we.
Do you know what I'm enjoying though? Do you know what I'm enjoying about this? I'm enjoying the fact that we've mixed the characters up, because Dan hasn't been with the main cast. He's been with Bob and Vlad, which you weren't expecting. And then the characters are kind of mixed in a little bit now.
Exactly.
Adam talking to Karen. Yeah, there's definitely something different going on, which has kind of changed the dynamic a little bit here. But I think I now know where this is going. So Bob's getting drunk and eating strange meat. And Wayne's allowed that to happen.
Interior, Mark's office. Alan is sat at Mark's desk, and Wayne and Mark are sat on 2 chairs, listening. Alan is furious, red in the face, and sweating heavily.
No wonder the fucking takings are down. Any bastard could just walk in off the street. And what's this I've heard about a Russian family moving in? Well, they just turned up. What do you want me to do? Leave them out in the street? Exactly. This is a business, not a charity. And these people are draining much-needed funds.
What, 5 skinny little immigrants pushing our profit margin down?
Shut up, fat boy. I'm talking to him.
Quietly to Wayne.
Give us a minute, mate.
Gladly. Wayne stands and shuffles to the door, looking at his stomach in the mirror as he passes it.
What's wrong, Alan? We're fucked. Well and truly fucked. Profits are down, but we've been here before. People are adjusting to the new style, that's all. It's not just that, Mark. We're running at a loss, an all-time low. The resort is full, but overheads are so high, there is no profit. The board are breathing down my neck, and to top off a fantastic fucking week, Kevin's done a runner. Kevin did what?
Alan reaches down into his briefcase and pulls out a large bottle of whiskey, pouring himself a triple, and offers Mark a drink.
No thanks, I'm working. I'm your boss. Have a drink.
Alan slams a glass down in front of Mark, drinks his shot in one mouthful, and pours another large one.
Fucked off. Ran away. Left me to take the brunt of it. What? Kevin. Gone to Dubai. Piece of shit. Why? Why? Son of a bitch got one of your dancers pregnant.
Mark, realising who Alan is referring to.
Oh my God.
Mark then downs his drink, and Alan reloads his glass, doing the same with his own.
I've had his missus on the phone all hours of the day and night, sobbing her little heart out. Didn't want to tell the truth. God, if I could get my hands on him, I'd rip his throat out with my bare fucking hands. We went into this together.
Alan sips his whiskey.
So, what does that mean for us then? I really don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath for next season. That bad. Worse.
Both men down another large shot.
Oh, that got dark really fast. Really fast.
The whole episode has been dark, Steve. Steve, I think we need to lead this episode with a parental and a warning on. This is an 18 right now. We have dropped the F-bomb so many times in this episode. So apologies if that offends anyone. We're reading it as written.
Sorry, not sorry. At the end of the day, we do put the warning that there is explicit material within the podcast, so we can have at least 3 fucks and only 1. As long as we do that rate, we're all right.
Okay. So we now know who the father of the pregnant dancer is that was mentioned a few episodes ago. If that's just hanging in the air, that's now been revealed.
We obviously knew what we were doing. Unbelievably, we had this planned all along.
So Bob must be really bad at doing his job. And the reason why I say this is, how many times has Kevin been on resort and no one's known about it? Because he's an executive. He's obviously a leader of this business. No one's ever said anything that he's been visiting. So he must have been literally sneaking onto the resort to have his way with this dancer.
He's coming up to the gate. He's not telling anybody he's there. The security guard's got no reason to question why he might be on resort. And he's in resort. He's not having to sign in because he has an ID to get in. So I don't think it would even register. They would just think he's going off to do some work and nobody else has known about it because once he's through those gates, he's keeping a low profile.
Kevin is bolted to Dubai with a pregnant dancer.
Has he gone with her though or not? That's what we don't know. We don't know whether she's gone or whether he's just cleared off to hide. I guess we'll find out. Or not.
Well, it must have happened relatively quickly because Alan did say that his missus has been on the phone all hours of the day and night sobbing a little heart out and he didn't want to tell the truth. But so look, we have to probably start wrapping all of that in because quite a lot has happened in a short space of time. We have Kelly and Adam have kind of destroyed the relationship. We don't know where Sam sits with all of that. We now know the camp is in trouble. Kevin's done a runner, and Karen probably called it all.
Karen's the voice of sanity. She sits back and watches everything unfold around her, and she makes notes. I think she's got everybody pegged. She knows what's going on. And she goes to work to be there to just enjoy it all like it's her own personal soap opera.
She is the oracle because what she said was men thinking with their willies has been absolutely proven in this episode because it's all been around that. It seems that the camp is in real trouble.
This is what we're building towards, isn't it? As we get towards the last few episodes of the podcast for this script, that's why that's why this trouble is arising. We've had some ups and downs, but now the real gritty issues are starting to come to light. And I think it's we've had a little bit of comic relief in there with Dan and Vladimir. I mean, Bob and the alcohol and Dan and Vlad all together. That's only going to lead to comedy.
And we always end with a bit of a hidden truth, don't we? And that's a bit of a theme across every single episode. Steve, during your time, did you ever go to a barbecue and eat strange meat?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about doing things you shouldn't be doing, then, I mean, it's well documented before I worked there. Me sneaking onto the resort and being in Brian's car to be able to get onto the camp.
That's whatever you want to reveal, Steve. Whatever you want to reveal.
I think, if we were writing this today, and this is the first time I've really reflected on this, and we're on our 11th main episode and 2 specials, and this is the first time we're kind of talking about if we were writing it today, I think we would have probably expanded the cast, written more episodes, and had more of that interaction going on, and have it more of as an ensemble piece, don't you think? That probably would be... We would have taken that.
Absolutely. And the unsung heroes of all of these parks across the country is the catering staff because they work so hard. And I would say that they are probably the unsung heroes, and we probably have a break off with them as well. But have you noticed, as an observation so far, apart from Wayne, we don't ever see another person in this show eat.
Yeah, he does the eating for everybody. To be fair, he eats enough for everybody.
He does. And it's just the little things that you forget. So there's alcohol's very, very prominent right through. Everyone's having a drink, and it seems like everyone's getting drunk at this moment in time. But we don't really see much of the downtime out with nightclubs from any of the characters. So it's all very centered on that lifestyle.
And if I think back,
because of the hours we used to work, we were talking 6 days a week, and we were talking from morning till night. You were working. There wasn't a lot of downtime for anything else. You just lived to go out and have fun, and then you were back to work again. So I think we focused on that. And like we said before, when we talked about once they've consumed a little bit too much booze, so I think that's why the focus is there. And let's not forget, we were in our early 20s when we wrote this, so we were still right smack bang in the middle of that drinking and fun time culture.
I am just going to say that I am that shaken and shocked by this particular episode. I probably need to go away and make myself a martini and lemonade.
I think you should do that. I'm going to have a snake bite in black and go and lie in a dark room for a while. So on that note, as we go off, have something to drink and have a little lie down. We hope to join you next time for another episode of Bad Scripts. Bad Scripts was written and performed by Mike Garlia and Steve Jones, a Beach Tide production.